Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. If you're passionate about LA hoops, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Because today, we've got a blockbuster rumor that could shake the entire league. The Los Angeles Lakers are gearing up for what could be the most consequential offseason in recent memory. With Luka Doncic now anchoring the backcourt alongside LeBron James up front, Rob Pelinka and the front office find themselves juggling superstar contracts, luxury tax implications, and the ever-present quest for another title. And one name that might not fit into the grand plan: Austin Reaves. According to Sports Illustrated's Ricardo Sandoval, the Lakers could very well cut ties with Reaves via a blockbuster summer trade, a move that would send shockwaves through the NBA. Sandoval notes that Los Angeles can offer Reaves a 4-year, $89.2 million contract, vastly outperforming his current deal of 4 years and $53 million. Yet, despite that potential payday, the expectation around the league is that Reaves will decline the extension and opt out after next season, electrifying trade chatter. Why? Let's break it down. Over the 2024-25 regular season, Reaves emerged as a legitimate star, putting up 20.2 points, 5.8 assists, and 4.5 rebounds per night, shooting 46% from the field and threatening from deep at 37.7%. His fearless drives, perimeter aggression, and ability to fill up the box score made him a front-runner for Most Improved Player. The chemistry between him, LeBron, and Doncic seemed like the perfect recipe for sustained success. But then the playoffs hit, and Reeves's numbers dipped. In a 5-game series loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves, he averaged 16.2 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 3.6 assists, while shooting just 41.1% overall and 31.9% from three. Far from the edge-playing spark plug that propelled LA during the season, he looked tentative at times, struggling to create off the bounce and missing key shots when the spotlight burned hottest. Sandoval bluntly observes, his playoff performance was not up to par, and that is putting it kindly. He was a shell of himself. Combine that with a salary jump that would take him to as much as $42.5 million per year, and Pelinka may find himself in the unenviable position of having to decide between rewarding loyalty and seizing a generational opportunity to upgrade elsewhere. Imagine the leverage Pelinka could wield. Package Reeves's expiring contract or sizable new deal in a deal for an elite frontcourt star. Think of targeting someone like Jaren Jackson Jr., Nick Claxton, or even dangling to Memphis the prospect of pairing Jackson and Doncic, while shifting Reaves into a sign-and-trade that nets multiple first-round picks. Or perhaps Los Angeles floats Reaves to Golden State in exchange for cap relief and draft assets, setting up a 3-team swap that lands them a premier rim protector. It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. LeBron's twilight years demand a roster built for spacing and interior defense. Could the Lakers really part ways with one of their most popular young stars? One whose swagger and work ethic have endeared him to Staples Center crowds? According to league insiders, Reaves is far from untouchable. If Pelinka gets a deal he can't say no to, the call to move on may become inevitable. But what about timing? The decision must be made before July 1st, when free agency opens and the franchise can officially negotiate new extensions. Reaves holds a player option next summer. You can bet agents and rival GMs are already testing the market, gauging interest in Reezy as a piece in a larger puzzle. If Reaves really intends to opt out, other teams will circle, knowing he's a restricted free agent who can sign elsewhere and command top pay on the open market. And then there's the human element. Reaves has become a locker room leader, often mentoring younger players, setting the tone with his relentless defense and film study habits. How will the squad react if that bond is abruptly severed? Will the chemistry cultivated all season unravel, or will the remaining core, LeBron, Luka, Anthony Davis, rally around a fresh face? The emotional stakes are sky high. Yet the upside is tantalizing. Landing a high-impact big, someone who can protect the rim and stretch defenses alongside Doncic, would transform this roster's identity overnight. LeBron's diminishing minutes become less critical if you add length and shot-blocking prowess. The Lakers could emerge as championship favorites without overworking their aging MVPs. Nothing's decided, and frankly, it might all be rumor, mill fodder. But when a deal involves Reaves, Pelinka will listen, and if the price is right, Lakers News Fan Report will be the first to break it. So stay tuned. Next week's offseason presser could be the moment that reshapes not only the purple and gold, but the entire NBA landscape. If you've been following along, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a breaking update from Lakers News Fan Report. Now, let's dive deeper into what a post-Austin Reaves Lakers roster could look like and why this seismic trade would make so much sense, even if it feels unthinkable right now. Of course, all this hinges on timing. Pelinka must wait for the free agency moratorium to lift, then gauge market reaction. He'll listen to calls from rival GMs, weigh potential incoming talent against cap ramifications, and imagine the lineup permutations. He'll preview different trade packages, one with draft picks, one with veteran role players, and one that brings back another star. The front office's war room will buzz with simulations. If we send Reaves plus 2028 first for Jaren Jackson, what does that look like? Do we add an expiring deal to bring back Bojan Bogdanovic instead? Can we pivot on the fly? If Claxton signs elsewhere? The answers to these questions will determine whether Los Angeles flirts with the unconventional or stays the course, banking on the existing core. Yet, for all the speculation, one fact remains. Reaves is far from untouchable. He'll be offered max money, headline-making deals, and career-defining roles elsewhere. If he chooses to decline the extension, he effectively invites trade talk. And that invitation is one Pelinka might be too tempted to accept, because at this stage, the window for winning can slam shut in an instant. So, will the Lakers really cut ties with Austin Reaves? Only time and Pelinka's call sheets will tell. But as summer dawns in Los Angeles, one thing is certain. This offseason rumor will be the most electric story in the NBA, rivaled only by LeBron's future decision itself. First, consider the financial landscape. Reaves carries nearly $42 million per season on the books, and moving that contract in a blockbuster package instantly creates massive cap relief. Imagine redirecting those funds into a series of complementary moves, trading Reaves for a premier rim protector like Nick Claxton or Jaren Jackson Jr., then using the mid-level and biannual exceptions, along with the newly opened space, to target two-way forwards and elite shooters. Suddenly, the Lakers have the horsepower to chase players like Tari Eason or Mikal Bridges, athletic wings who can guard multiple positions, while also signing a specialist floor spacer such as Buddy Hield or Seth Curry on a reasonable deal. The ripple effect doesn't end there. Veteran minimums could be allocated to high IQ glue guys like Royce O'Neal, Andre Drummond, or even Kelly Olynyk, solidifying a deep rotation built around defense and spacing. But let's be honest, it's not just about the dollars. Austin Reaves has become iconographic in purple and gold, his hustle plays, stepping into passing lanes, knocking down corner threes, finishing lobs, etched into Lakers lore. Trading him would feel like losing a piece of the franchise's soul. Laker Nation would erupt. Social media would overflow with "your Reaves out" grief. Season ticket renewals would hang in the balance, and veterans like LeBron James and Anthony Davis would publicly wrestle with the emotional fallout. Yet, history shows that LeBron embraces bold roster reinventions. His decision to Miami, the return to Cleveland in 2014, and ultimately his move west all sparked skepticism before delivering championships. If moving Reaves unlocks a path to title number 5, even he might herald it as the ultimate win-now maneuver. Now picture the broader NBA tremors. A Reaves-centered trade would send shockwaves through league circles, Eastern contenders scrambling to counter Los Angeles' newfound front court, teams like Boston eyeing countermoves to match the Lakers' upgraded defense, and Golden State recalibrating its depth chart for tough playoff matchups. Media coverage would be relentless. Morning shows debating the merits, podcasts dissecting every hypothetical, and analytics blogs modeling how a new Lakers lineup compares historically. The mere rumor would dominate offseason discourse, eclipsing all other storylines until official word arrives, and let's not forget the human calculus. For Reaves, opting out of his player option next summer and declining an extension invites a trade discussion. He'd walk into a new situation, maybe Brooklyn, becoming the focal point of an up-and-coming offense. There, he could showcase his scoring punch and playmaking, perhaps securing a long-term payday of his own. Meanwhile, the Lakers' front office, led by Rob Pelinka, must weigh the guaranteed production and culture fit Reaves offers against the transformative upside of a multi-star frontcourt. Every potential package, whether it brings back a single superstar or multiple rotation pieces, must be measured against that emotional cost. Zooming out, this decision isn't merely who stays and who goes. It's a philosophical crossroads. Will the Lakers recommit to veteran continuity, banking on existing chemistry and simply tweaking around the edges? Or will they reset the roster, embracing a more egalitarian, defense-first identity capable of weathering injuries and extending playoff runs? The path chosen will define the franchise's next 5 years, whether they chase one last ring for LeBron with a proven cast or build around Luka Doncic and a reinvented core destined for repeated contention. Of course, none of this happens overnight. Pelinka will wait for the July 6th free agency start, listen to calls from rival GMs, and simulate dozens of trade scenarios. He'll explore varying return packages, one filled with draft picks and expiring deals, another featuring established role players, and yet another centered on acquiring a high-impact big man. The calculations are labyrinthine, but the underlying truth is simple. In the flat cap era, elite teams must be willing to part with beloved assets to reshape their championship trajectory. So, will the Lakers really cut ties with Austin Reaves? Only time and those clandestine war room meetings will tell. But as Los Angeles braces for one of the wildest off-seasons in NBA history, remember this. Every titan-shaking deal once began as a whispered rumor. And if Rob Pelinka pulls the trigger on Reaves, it will be heralded not as betrayal, but as the masterstroke that vaulted the Lakers back to the summit. Thanks for sticking with us. If you enjoyed this deep dive into what could be the off-season's most audacious gamble, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll be here with real-time updates as summer unfolds, so don't miss a single moment. Until next time, this is Lakers News Fan Report, where every rumor is just a heartbeat away from reality.